was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had.
Howdy, folks. Welcome in. You have arrived at the Texas to Tennessee podcast. My name's Steve. That right there is Soul Gravy.
Howdy.
How are you, sir?
Doing good, doing good.
Long time no see.
It seems like it, yeah.
Yeah, I missed you, man.
Oh, yeah, you were off you missed 2 episodes
Vacation.
last week. Oh, yeah.
It wasn't exactly a vacation, but felt like it. Folks, special guest tonight, our friend Grayson from the Southbound Show has joined us. If you're not familiar with Grayson, he's going to tell you a little bit about himself.
What's going on, y'all? I'm Grayson Kepley. I host the Southbound Show podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Do a lot with country music, a lot with influencers, a little bit of everything, honestly. But I'm a influencer too. I'm on top of that, and got the podcast, and that's about it.
Nice. Well, we're super excited to get to chat with you. I know we talked a little bit about this on the intro, but feel like it was within the last 6 months that maybe all of a sudden you started coming across all our screens, and maybe less than that. I don't know. But can you tell me a little bit about how you got started in it?
Yes, sir. I think the first video I posted, I think, was February 6th. I think.
Okay.
6th or the 7th. So I think it's 7 months now.
7 months. All right.
But yeah, it's February 6th, I think. So I know it was February, but.
And what was the motivation to get on and be like, hey, I'm going to get on camera and I'm going to just hammer people on country music?
Well, you got it. Really, it's two stories. I started, I didn't know what I was going to post when I started, but I just had a dream that I wanted to start a podcast and try to do something that I love to make a living with. And social media kind of came with it because I had no clue how to do it and how to get followers. And so I was just like, well, I'm just going to start posting stuff and just kind of see where it goes. And it took me, several months to really get anywhere. But one day I was scrolling across TikTok probably, and I seen a video. This guy put a thing on there. He was like, I don't care what nobody says, Garth Brooks is the #1 country artist of the 90s. And I was like, well, hold on there. He might have sold the most and all that, but I was like, I think George Strait's a little bit. George Strait's my guy. I think him and Alan Jackson I like just a little bit better. So I was like, I made a video, and I've been learning about doing hooks and stuff on the videos to try to draw people's attention to it a little bit better. And I was like, I'm tired of people saying Garth Brooks is the #1 country singer of the 90s. No, he's not. George Strait's #1. And I just started naming people off, and that was the first thing that I did that really got any traction. I think that video got 150,000 views, and for me at the time,
That's a lot.
I was waiting on the agents and the money to start rolling in. That's how new I was to it.
Yeah.
And after that, I was like, oh crap! I was like, that worked. I did it. So the next day, I made another one, posted it. It got 100,000. The next day, I posted one. It got 10,000 plus. I was like, well, something here is right, and I knew a lot about it, so it wasn't I just wasn't throwing it out there.
Sure.
I actually knew a lot about it, and about country music. I'm a history buff anyway, and just country music, movies anything like that I love, and that's just kind of how it started. I just started throwing stuff out there, and haven't been able to stop because every single one I do gets a lot of views.
Yeah.
And that's opened a lot of doors for me in the country music industry to meet a lot of cool people and do a lot of cool things. So that's kind of how that started.
Absolutely. Well, there is something incredibly genuine about each one of your posts that I guess make it relatable, and that's one of the hardest things I think sometimes for some folks to have come across on a.
It's either relatable or they want to argue with you. One of the two.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that too.
But there's
probably.
engagement, so
Yeah, for sure.
I've had people tell me, they're like, well, I like your account because it's like you're not trying to really, like, on the country music stuff especially. It's like, I had a comment the other day. This guy was like, finally a country music account that's not rage bait. That's exactly what he put
Yeah.
for that. And I was like, man, that's just like, I'll take it, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
But
I mean, I think there's some truth to that. It's there's something to be said for having the ability to have a civil conversation and let people, disagree and still be cool with each other, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, sometimes having the opinion that you actually really do believe in will still make someone argue with you. It's not bait, but it just happens. You
Oh,
know.
it does. Every day, I'll post something and it might be just a tick off, and people in the comments, they won't let you forget about it. They will remind you quickly.
Do you
And
find that sometimes those little one-offs or things that might not be quite 100% true tend to draw in more traction?
oh yeah, yeah, and sometimes I don't do it on purpose. Like,
Yeah. I know.
if it's an opinion, then that's different. But if I'm naming the facts, I want it to be as spot on as it can be, and I'll double triple check it. But we all make mistakes.
Can you explain what you're talking about to people that might not, catch what you're meaning?
Me?
So
No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
so like, yeah, if you post a video and let's say it's 95% truthful, that 5% that ain't, somebody's gonna catch on that it ain't. So if you're just doing a video based on facts, you gotta have your information
Understood.
pretty much dialed in, because they will let you know, and it and it ain't gonna kill your credibility to make a mistake, but if you make too many of them, it's like, well, he don't know what he's talking about. And especially in the beginning, when you're trying to make a little bit of a name, if you're off by a centimeter, it's like you got no margin for error,
Right.
in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I've had those arguments before too. When I think I shared like a happy birthday Keith Whitley post or something of that nature, and put the hometown, and whew, boy, that opened up. I went off of Wikipedia, and apparently Wikipedia was not 100% correct. And boy, they let me know quick.
What about it was wrong, the date or the hometown?
I think the hometown.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Because
I've
I want to, I can't remember what it said. It had something to do with Sandy Hook. I can't remember if Sandy Hook is actually his hometown or if that's not what
Yeah.
Wikipedia had.
Isn't
Either
that,
way,
didn't we have somebody on the show who was from his
I think
hometown?
so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't
For
remember.
some reason,
But,
I'm thinking Moonlight Mile, but I could be wrong.
oh, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
it was probably one of those technicalities where he claimed to be from somewhere, but
Okay.
it wasn't actually where he was born. I could see that being
I don't
Yeah.
know, but yeah,
laid into you.
the folks in that holler let me know. They were hollering at me. So
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Well, Grayson, I'm curious. First off, I'm curious what was going on in your household in terms of music wise. What did you grow up with?
Oh, I mean, my parents, we listened to about 95% country music and old country music. I mean,
So when you say old for us old people, tell us what that means.
how, how about out? That was probably a bad word. How about classic and outlaw country?
Yeah,
Probably
that's
be a
cool.
better.
Hey, I'm
Probably be
fine with it.
about anything. I was born in '04, and like I just remember riding around with my dad in the truck, and this was back when we still had CDs,
Yeah.
and he would have just the Waylon Jennings' greatest hits and Willie Nelson's greatest hits. I still remember he had the Alabama greatest hits. It was red. The disc was red.
Oh yeah, the truck.
Yeah. No,
Is it the back of the truck or?
no. The disc was red.
Oh, I got you. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the
I was
label
thinking the
on the
cover.
disc. No, sir. The disc was red, and he had it up on on the visor in
Oh,
a
yeah.
disc
Oh yeah.
I guess separator. But I think Waylon's probably the first one I remember listening to as a kid. Waylon, Hank Jr., Jerry Reed, and all the boys.
Nice. And then when did you kind of find your artist? Like I mean, because at some point you're indoctrinated by whoever's around you, and then you kind of gravitate to your own listening styles. So who were those folks for you?
My all-time favorite's Waylon. Yeah,
Okay.
he's been my favorite for a long time. Him and Hank Jr. used to flip flop for a little while, but Waylon's my favorite. Hank Jr.'s a solid number 2. It's close, but yeah,
Okay. Nice.
Waylon's my favorite.
Well, good answer. We can still be friends, so that's cool. Um,
Who was I not supposed to say? That's probably a good question.
what's that?
Who was I?
No.
Who was I not supposed to say if you said we can still be friends?
Oh, well, I mean, everybody has their own taste. Nobody's wrong, but Waylon is the correct answer.
Especially if you're going between those two for Talbot.
Yeah, for me.
Waylon is way ahead of Hank Jr. for him,
Yeah.
and I
But
probably would agree. But
I like Hank Jr. too, but there's varying degrees. I like Hank Sr. maybe even more than both, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Ooh, you are going down a rabbit hole with this one.
Yeah.
Well, Waylon's my favorite. He's been for a long time.
Yeah. So you decided, I guess from what you told us, that you were really wanting to do the podcast, and this seemed to be a vehicle to help you get that going.
Yes, sir.
Man, you came out of the gate pretty strong with that first interview. How did that go down?
That's a long story.
Well, we got time, so
Okay. So I've been making some videos. The country music stuff kind of started taking off a little bit, and this was back when Gavin wasn't I guess as controversial as
Sure.
he is today, but
Right.
he still had some haters. That's the best way to say it. And I'd seen him in concert the year prior at Rock the Country, and he just put on a heck of a show. I mean, he was one of the best ones there, in my opinion. And this was right about the time that he really started getting a lot of hate on the internet and stuff. And I just made a video. I was like, man, he's getting all this hate. Let me tell you what my experience was with it. And I was like, man, he did really good. He put on a heck of a show. He thanked God on stage, and anybody that does that's got my blessing right off the bat, just saying that. And I tagged him in it. He liked it. And I finally had kind of started getting some stuff figured out with the podcast and just starting to move forward with it. I started social media first, but the podcast I finally started getting some stuff figured out with it. And I can't take credit for this. It was my dad's idea. We were going to be at Rock the Country at the show. And he was like, why don't you make a video and just be like, hey, I'm going to be at Rock the Country. I want you to be my first guest on the show and tag him in it. And I was this close to not doing it, but I was just like, well, you've already kind of put yourself out there. It's time to really jump over that hurdle, I guess, doing social media and stuff. So I made it, tagged him in, and I was like, hey, I want you to be my first guest on the show. And my closing line to it, and it was all like one take. I didn't edit or nothing. I was like, I started this with a dream and a prayer. And here I am at almost 10,000 followers 3 months later. But I had no clue it was going to happen this quick. My goal was to have 10,000 followers by October this year. And I was already about to beat that goal then.
yeah.
But I made that video, and I screenshotted where he had liked the first video that I posted about him. And
Smart.
He commented on it. I posted it, and I had it in that video Well, he added me back on TikTok, and I sent him a message. And me and Steve, we talked about this before. You know how slow things can move with bigger artists.
For sure.
Well, I sent him a message, didn't hear nothing. Finally, about a week before the show that we're going to anyway, I get a message back from him. It might have been 2 weeks, but it was about a week and a half, to be fair. He responds back. He's like, yeah, man, let's do it. I actually sent him 2 messages because that's how long it went between sending the first one and getting a response.
Sometimes that happens, yeah.
Yeah, I'm big on follow-up, and I'll annoy people sometimes, but I followed up with him, and sure as the world, about a week before the show, he responds and sends me his manager's number. Well, actually, I lied. I didn't get a message back. I sent him a second one. Still didn't get a response. I posted another video, and now we're friends on TikTok, right? So he can see it. He just hadn't responded to nothing. And I posted another video, and you know how things get when you're so close to achieving a goal?
Yes.
And it's like it just slows down.
Yes.
Basically do a crawl. Well, I was frustrated one day, and I made a video about it. I was just not about being frustrated, but just saying hey, when you get so close to a goal, this happens, and this is annoying. Because here's a prime example of it, right? Right. I didn't say none of that in the video, but I was like, as soon as you get so close to a goal, it slows down to a crawl every time. It never fails. That was the gist of the video. But I was like, you can't stop and all this. And it was like a motivational video almost. I just spur of the moment thing that I made. I'll make some random stuff sometimes, but I made that one. Well, he saw that video, commented on it, and then he responded back.
Oh, nice.
And next thing I know, a week later, I'm backstage at Rock the Country, and he's my first guest on the podcast. And that is, you couldn't have wrote it down any better than it happened. Like it's a crazy story.
Well, and then he decided to, immediately following your podcast to start picking beef. So, I mean, that's
win-win.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even have to do the dirty work.
No, I mean it was funny between the time I made the video and the time we did the podcast. The Braxton Keith thing happened, the first one, and I asked him about that, and he actually said they were going to do a single together, but I hadn't heard anything else about it. But that was that time period, right about the time that he started getting really in the news and stuff was when we did
mixing it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, for what it's worth, we were lucky enough to have him on a couple years ago, and he was really just getting started. Yeah. Or at least to my awareness, but this was over on Patrick's channel on Country versus Metal. Y'all go check that out. But he couldn't have been more respectful and was a great guest and was super forthright. And so it's interesting to see the public perception of kind of where he's taking it and whatnot. But yeah, man, that's congrats to you for getting that as a first episode. I think did Soul Gravy. I can't. Who was our first guest?
David Jackson was the very first one.
Yeah. All right. Well,
and then Adam Hood was the first.
Yeah.
Bigger one.
Bigger name that we had. Yeah, for sure.
He was. You mentioned him being respectful and all that. He was the same way with me. Yeah. My whole family was backstage with us. We all went to that show together.
Very cool.
He treated all of us like we was kin.
Yeah.
Treated us like $1 million and just he couldn't have been a nicer guy. And like that, I can't put it into words what that did, him coming on the show the first time.
Sure.
The day I posted it, I got a message from an influencer that's a friend of mine. That day, never said a word about coming on the show. The day I posted it and posted that first clip, he sends me a message. He's like, "Hey man, I'd love to come on the show." That
day, how that works.
Yeah, a month later, I'm on a plane to Texas to have him on the show. So he really having him on the show, it to me gave it that credibility
Absolutely.
and was like, hey, it gave it a jump start that you just I can't put it in words what
Yeah.
that did.
A lot of people have had things to say about Gavin. Shout out to Gavin for coming on and being your first guest.
He, like I said, he treated all of us like gold, and you
Which
won't
definitely
hear it.
shapes your opinion on him, because
yeah.
you know you're excited about having him on the podcast because you understand. But then if he would have been a prick towards you or something, then that would have you still would have been excited, but you would have walked away from it with a different feeling. And
Different
considering
feeling,
and then the fact that the way he treated you and then your family and everything. I mean that's got to you won't forget shit like that.
No, I told somebody the other day. They said something to me about him, all the stuff that's going on now. I said he could slap somebody's grandma. I wouldn't care at this point. Like I'll probably still defend him, but it's messed. Yes, I told her, I was like, yeah, he can slap somebody's grandma, and I'd probably tell her she had it coming. But
Fair enough.
nah, yeah. But
Well,
yeah,
you never know. Grannies can
like,
get ornery.
oh, they can. Oh yeah.
I
But
got one of those.
I do too. I got a great grandma that's like that. But yeah, it was really cool.
So as far as like this podcast, it started off mainly like people that I met on TikTok that had original music out there. They weren't touring. They still worked their 40-hour week job.
Yep.
And then and if you look back in the first several episodes, 5 or 6 episodes, that's who the guests were just guys that had music that I'd met, through boxes of playing music on TikTok and things like that. But like it's a different avenue, but same thing when you mentioned the credibility thing. When Bill Corbin came on, and then 2 when Adam Hood came on, like it within that music world, it was some credibility because they hold such high high regard from everyone in those circles. So I understand exactly what you mean as far as it gives you some legs to stand on.
Oh yeah, it's a double-edged sword though. You gotta, it's because you're getting thrown in the fire though pretty quick with a bigger name artist.
I watched that one back and I I cringe at it. Like I love it that Adam came on, but I still cringe at everything about it. So
well, good news. I found out he's going to be coming on in February, so we'll get another crack at him.
There you
Which
go.
will be
You
exciting.
can fix it.
Yeah. Well, you did good, man.
No, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm like fanboying out.
Oh yeah.
And Andy did a song live on the episode, so I was like, he's singing this song to me.
It was. Yeah, it was very personal.
I mean, it actually was. And apparently, my dog wants to be on the podcast tonight. So
all right. Well, shout out to your dog.
Barged in the room.
Grayson, I want to know. There's a lot of people out there that are experts when it comes to social media. So I want to know who's giving you the best advice, and you don't have to tell me who gave the worst advice, but can you tell me what the worst advice you've gotten so far is?
The worst advice?
Both, yeah.
The worst advice was probably you don't have to post every day.
Oh, yeah. I think you kind of should, right?
I think you should, especially if you're trying to, especially in the beginning. I mean, because I always use the example. Not all of us are going to have a hot 2 moment. That's my example with it usually. Like not all of us can be turned into a meme on the first go around and get hundreds of millions of views. So I'm a big believer in consistency. Okay. And that was not somebody said you didn't have to post every day. It's in the beginning too. They said that. That's the worst. That was the worst. Like why would you tell somebody that could be in my position that might be wanting to start, right? Saying, hey, and this was a video off of social media. This wasn't
Oh.
nobody told me this. This was just a video, but I was on there trying to learn and get some tips. It was like you don't have to post every day.
Right.
Like I was like, I mean, I get it if you got 1 million followers and your people know who you are, but
Right.
when you're just trying to start like that,
Got to keep it rolling.
yeah, like it didn't make no sense to me, and I didn't even know anything at the time like that. I was just like, that ain't how it works. You gotta, if you got anybody listening that might be wanting to do anything with social media, there's something called a guru, and they make their money selling courses. They don't make their money doing what they're telling you to do. Some of them do. It ain't all of them.
Right.
But a lot of them, they make it's snake oil salesman. That's what it is.
Salt and gravy. I got some real estate for you, by the way. I don't know if I brought that up or not, but
I got you. And is it?
Oceanfront
it's a
property.
training program. But you
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
Uh-huh. All right.
Oh, they make millions doing it.
Yeah.
You'd be shocked.
So I guess
And if for the folks that don't know, what he's talking about is you know you got somebody that's telling you exactly how to get all of these views and to grow your account, and then you look at their account and they don't have what they're telling you, what they're
Yep.
telling you to get. Just
Yep.
dig a little bit. You can see
you're
through it.
not
pretty
really
fast.
digging that much, to be
No.
honest.
No,
No.
not at all.
If somebody with 1,000 followers is telling you how to get to 10 million, don't listen to them.
That's probably that's a good point.
That's a good way to gauge it. That's
Yeah.
a good way to gauge it.
Well, I think from what I understand, Grayson, you have I don't want to say a regular normal job, but how do you figure out how to manage your time with this? Because this can turn into a pretty all thought consuming kind of operation.
I actually do it full time. The social media stuff.
Oh, you're doing it full time.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. I must have got that wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
I do it full time. I've been doing it full time since May.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
I think I maybe when we first talked, you were in that
Yes.
process, so that makes sense then. Okay. Well, that's a big jump.
Yeah. I was very lucky to have some money saved up, and
Yeah.
the amount of stuff that I post, it would be tough to do if you didn't do it full time. And it probably happened a little soon, but it's
Gotta
like
dive in.
I had on the last podcast I did with Brian Andrews, he was like, the time is never going to be right.
Right.
But
There's a lot of artists that can relate to that.
oh yeah, the time is never going to be right. I don't care how many you got. It's going to be a little scary, but
I'm gonna wait till the house is paid off, and then I'm gonna do it.
heck, by then you're going to be 100 and you're going to be
Right.
time's going to be fast.
My point. Yeah.
But yeah, it probably a little sooner than it probably should have, but at the same time, it was kind of that little kick in the butt that I needed. Like, hey, you gotta go and rock and roll. So
That's awesome, man. Congrats. Super cool. Proud of you for doing that.
I appreciate it.
What I'm sure as you sat down at some point, you started thinking about, you talked a little bit about this, but with goals and anything specific beyond maybe a certain number of followers or obviously I know you wanted to kickstart the podcast as well, but any other goals, short-term, long-term goals that you had that you were looking to accomplish?
Well, my long-term goal is to have the #1 podcast in the world.
Okay.
That's
Boom.
my goal. That's my goal with it. And it ain't gonna happen tomorrow, but that's my long-term goal with it. One way or the other, I'm gonna do it.
And do you foresee a world where you're interviewing people that might be maybe not specific to music?
Oh yeah, like that. That's why as soon as I started to be able to get influencers on the show, that's why I started doing it.
Okay.
Just my idea with it, and this, I was talking to Justin Stagner on my podcast about it. He does the Southern Grandpa stuff.
Yep.
Well, he started doing the Southern Grandpa stuff, and that's where he really got his start. And he would post several of those videos and then post something completely different. And we have a lot of the same opinions on that. Anybody that wants to learn about social media, he's a good one to learn from
Okay.
between his podcast and the one that we have. We talk quite a bit about it. But it's like if you do one thing, in my opinion, you get to a certain level and then you top out. It's no different than a country singer having they have their glory years and then
Right.
it stops, and then they start declining after that. My opinion is if you do different stuff over time, you start pulling in people from different audiences, and that's really over time. I think you're going to have more followers, in my opinion, and the same with the podcast. Like if you just interview one group of people, that's all you're going to get. You might be the number one in that crowd, which is great,
Right.
but you're going to
What are
hit
you
that
leaving on the table?
yeah, you're going to hit that plateau, and that's going to be it, in my opinion. So that's why as soon as I was able to start to have influencers on, and eventually I want to start having athletes on and just actors and everything. Eventually I want to start doing that.
Let's speak it into existence. Who are some people that we can clip up on here, and who are some folks that you potentially would like to have on your podcast?
Well, so when I started the whole thing, my two biggest influences on the podcast was Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn.
Okay, that's a good place to start.
They're probably my two biggest podcast influences. I mean Joe's the cream of the crop. Obviously, he's got the number one podcast in the world. But also, when I was getting ready to do my first one, nerves were building, and I was so nervous. I was about to hyperventilate at one point. I got so nervous about it, but it was funny. I was at the gym. I was sitting in the sauna, and it was like a couple of days before the show. I was scrolling. I started watching his show, just looking for any tip, trick, anything I could get. Well, he had an equipment failure. Something was wrong with a microphone or something. Something was wrong. And I learned more from that than I have from anything. It just taught me, like, hey, no matter what goes wrong, you can push through it. He didn't get mad. He's got the number one podcast in the world. He could have got mad and done whatever. He didn't. He just was like, let's just fix it and move on. Yeah. That taught me more than anything, just right there. Like, hey, no matter what goes on, you're going to be all right.
Yeah, I should have learned that lesson, because Soul Gravy gets mad at me on the equipment issues, and I have nothing to do with it. So
I do
weird.
not. I do not.
Hey, when I did the interview with Gavin, we were in a camper backstage at the show doing it, and the AC unit that we thought was off turned on during it about halfway through. Oh. And I'm already nervous,
right.
But
now you're sweating and nervous.
Oh yeah, but we fixed it, and I still got the footage of it. But we did it. But that was like, it sucked, but at the same time, it was like I needed it, because it was like, okay, something happened, it messed it up. We got up and we fixed it. That's it. We just continued on like nothing happened. Edited it out.
Well, it is kind of funny, because I know we spoke about Soul Gravy. I'll throw it over to you here in a second. We spoke a little bit about trying to explain what it's like to do a podcast. And when you first get started, one of the benefits is you don't know what you don't know, right? And you kind of figure it out as you go along. But looking back on those early podcasts now, as we were kind of describing, like, I'm not so sure, Soul Gravy, I don't know about you, but there are times where I'd be like, man, I'm not sure I would have gone through that if I knew that was gonna be the deal, I'm glad we did, but when you're starting at point zero, I guess there's probably a handbook out there or somewhere, but we didn't have one, so there is something to be said for figuring it out and as you go.
figuring it out and then being proud of where you've gotten to. You
Absolutely.
know.
There's some things the books won't teach you. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah. There's some things they won't teach you.
So, well, yeah, well, one thing is that the every guest is different, so that book can't teach you that part as
Yeah,
far as that
for
part
sure.
is concerned. Some could talk to the wall, and some are pull. You know, it's tough to pull answers out of them. They're just everybody's got their own personalities and their ways about them. Speaking of ways about them, what does when this idea first started coming on your radar or your first couple posts started doing well, how how did you explain this to your family or what do they think about it? I mean, I'm sure after going to rock the country and being in that position, their opinion or they got a better opinion about what you were shooting for, but still.
Well, heck, even that was like, even for me, it was like, holy cow, you can do it, you know. It, but
Mm.
it's been funny. Because like I said, I blew past every. I don't want to sound cocky like this. I've been very fortunate, but I've blown past every goal that I've set for myself already, and I've only been at it for 7 months. And but even for me, sometimes I'll take a second and look back, like I can't believe you did it, like, and it's not that I wasn't confident like that, but it was like when you look back at it, it's just like, I mean, I don't know many people that can say within 12 episodes they've had Gavin Adcock, Colt Ford, and Justin Staggeron in 12 episodes. It's crazy, but it it was funny when I started. My the only two people that I told were my parents, my mom and my dad. Everybody else has found out from the videos.
Which is
I
probably
mean,
smart.
yeah,
Yes.
I didn't tell
100%.
anybody. I didn't
Yeah.
tell my
Don't
friends.
tell anybody.
I didn't tell my friend. I didn't tell anybody. And it was funny. My friends, two of my buddies work together. They work at the same job. I get a video from them one day. I don't know how many followers I had. This was before the Gavin interview though, so it wasn't a ton. But they send me a video. One of them's holding the phone up, and the other one's videoing him holding the phone up, and it's like, what is this? It's like just like that. I was started laughing. I was like, I mean, I knew it was gonna happen because I mean, like I did the math last month. I mean, I was averaging across all my platforms like 10 million views plus a month on all the platforms combined. So I was like, I mean, I knew they were gonna see it, but I've a lot of people have horror stories of like people from their hometown being like just being smart, you know what, to them and everything. I haven't had that at all. I've had everybody has been supportive, and
That's
it
great.
really that's I think that's a rarity from what I've heard from some friends and that are influencers and then trying to do something out of the norm. I guess is the best way to say it. But yeah,
Yeah. That
I
says a
haven't
lot
had
about your community.
just I've got a pretty good group of friends and my family's great. I mean,
Did
nothing.
mom and dad understand what you were shooting for? Even at the very even at the very beginning, when you were trying to get that interview, did they, you know what I mean? Because I don't know how old your mom and dad are, but they're probably not used to the things that you're used to when it comes to social media.
There it was. I think one. I, so going back to the story with Gavin, this will tell you. This will probably give you a pretty good idea about it. So we're at the show, and like I said, I talked to his manager one time over text. We didn't talk on the phone or nothing. He sends me a time about a week before the show, like, "Hey, this is probably going to be the time we're going to try to do it, right?" And I didn't hear nothing until about 30 minutes before the interview, right? But we get to the car, and like where we park at the show, it's a mud pit, like it's flooded. Like because it rained so hard in Knoxville that day, that's when the campers are getting stuck and everything. You might have seen it, but it was bad.
Mess. Yeah.
but I didn't hear from his manager, didn't know anything, didn't know a time, or like had a general time, but didn't know it was going to happen. And I was this close to leaving my stuff in the car. I was that close to leaving it, but because like they're not going to let you in with that stuff at the show. The
Right.
cameras, or I filmed the first one on an iPhone, but
Right.
the microphones, and I actually had got him a bottle of liquor that was going to be like this little thing I was
Thank
going
you.
to give him different
Oh,
shows.
nice.
Yeah, well, thank you. They weren't gonna.
We're
they
still
ain't gonna
waiting
let,
for somebody to bring us that, but whatever.
Yeah, they weren't. They
Still
weren't gonna
waiting.
let. They weren't gonna let you in with that. But I almost left it in the car, and we were just all of us were kind of like, "Is it gonna happen?" You know. But I was just like, you know what? If I gotta leave my stuff, if I gotta throw that bag in the trash when we get up there, if they don't let us in with it, it's fine. You know, I ain't gonna. You know. So I brought the bag with me with all my stuff in it, and finally I get a text from his manager, and it was like, holy cow, it's gonna. And until I saw him backstage, I still didn't believe it was gonna happen. You know.
Yeah.
And you can't make this up. When I saw him, he was walking towards me. It was so muddy. He had his boots tucked in. The mud was this deep. He had his boots tucked in his jeans, and I was like, "Holy cow, there he is!" Like, I guess it is gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then it was like, "Oh shoot, you got to be serious," you know. But it was like, I think once the first one happened for all of us, it was like, okay, you can do it, you know. And my mom was actually behind the camera the whole time, and we got done, and I didn't look at the footage or nothing, but she was like, "You did really good. After like the first like 2 minutes, she was like, you kind of calmed down. The first two, you talking about being cringe. The first 2 minutes was cringe. I'll tell you, it was. I wouldn't change it for nothing
Right.
for it being the first time, but still,
Right.
it was like it was the first time for anything.
It can be
Yeah.
that way
Remember to breathe.
anyway. Just in general, just because you're trying to get if you don't get to talk to anybody beforehand, like we had a couple minutes to chit chat a little bit before we started the night. But if you would have just popped on and we go record,
Yeah,
then you know what I
Makes
mean.
it
What you're
tough.
used to talking, but still, you know, it can make it tough because you don't know them.
yeah, and it was. I got
Sometimes.
another. This is you want a good Gavin story? I got
Yeah.
one for you.
Uh-oh.
Walked up, shook his hand. First, like three things out of his mouth. He's like, "You want a drink?" I was like, "Yeah, I could use one.
Yes, I
Now
I
do.
could
would
use
be a good
one.
time.
Now would be a good time." I think that's just who he is. But I couldn't have heard three better words. "You want a drink?" I was like, "Yes, I do." I was like, "I could use one."
Oh man, that's awesome. All right. Well, we've blown past halftime,
Yeah.
but we can't not do the game. So we got to do the game. Soul Gravy.
Okay. I have
Um,
one other question at some point in time. I'm just
yeah.
curious
Well,
on his
you can
opinion.
fire away now.
You
Now's a
you
good
want
time.
to? Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Um, you mentioned earlier that Waylon is your got to be your number one. What's your opinion or what's your take on the new Waylon stuff that's coming out and Shooter being involved with it? I personally I love that it's Shooter.
I do
It
too.
makes it more romantic. But what's your take on that?
I'm excited. I really am. I love the Songbird, the leadoff single. Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
The Cowboy was good too, but as Steve knows, you probably do. I had Dylan Weldon on the show a few months ago, and Dylan told me after the interview, because I didn't ask him that during the interview, but I asked him after, because I knew he had actually flown to California, to Los Angeles to the party to hear it. I was like, so how was it actually? He was like it was really good, and I was like, okay, I trust his opinion.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, he told
We're
me it
big
was
fans of
good.
Dylan,
Yeah, he's a good dude.
for
He's a
sure.
good dude.
Cool. All right, Soul Gravy. Town in question tonight, Grayson's hometown, little town north of Charlotte called Salisbury, North
Okay.
Carolina.
All right.
Have you ever been there?
No.
No, not yet.
I've
Okay.
had Salisbury steak, but that's
Well,
about it.
it's different, but yes.
Okay.
County seat of Rowan County since 1753. 25 miles northeast of Charlotte metro area. 35,000 residents as of the 2020 census. So I think he got a shot today.
Okay.
Usually the population kind of dictates where this goes. So 35,000 is a big town. A couple fun facts about Salisbury. Soft drink producer Cherry Wine.
Yep.
Familiar with
Okay.
that? Soul Gravy?
I know the name.
Okay.
I've never
And
partaked.
regional supermarket Food Lion
Okay.
was
Familiar with
founded
that.
there. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Catawba County University, Livingstone College, Rowan Cabarrus. Did I get that right? Community College. And Hood Theological Seminary, which is not an Adam Hood reference, but there's that.
It's probably a different hood than
I
Memphis
think it might be.
references earlier too. So
All right. First person I got for you. His name is George Bradshaw.
unless it's a different, he has a different name. No, I'm not familiar with George. I don't think.
George was a catcher for the Washington Senators.
Okay.
So it's
he's
been a
little-
couple years.
Yeah, been a little bit.
Yep. All right. Next up,
Baseball playoffs are about to start too, by the way.
excited about that. North Carolina is great tradition in producing amazing baseball players. So shout out to North Carolina. This one, I think you got a chance. Elizabeth Hanford Dole.
I didn't have a chance.
No?
But who is it?
Well, she used to be the Secretary of Labor. Well, hold on. She's pretty
Okay.
accomplished. She was
Okay,
the head,
okay.
head of the Red Cross. She was wife of Bob Dole.
Okay. I know Bob.
Also responsible for, the little light that goes on at your back brake light, the top one, the one up in the one up high. She was responsible for that.
Oh, okay.
So shout out to Elizabeth Dole, also known as Libby. She was senator from 2003 to 2010, I think, somewhere around there. For
I'll
North
take your
Carolina.
word.
Yep, pretty well known.
All right.
Mike Evans.
Well, there's a Mike Evans morning show here in Memphis.
It's not him.
Not
sadly.
him, but Mike Evans, the football player.
Also not him.
Well, I'm not sure. Which Mike Evans are we talking about?
How about Good Morning Florida? Does that help?
No.
Did you ever see this TV show Good Times?
Yes, I did.
Mike Evans was the dad.
The dad. Okay. Yep.
Shout out to
Even I didn't
Florida.
know that.
One of my favorite people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. James Goodnight. This is going to be a tough one, but a good one.
I mean, I love the last name, but I'm not familiar.
James Goodnight is the founder and CEO of SAS Institute out of Raleigh, which is a huge company out of Raleigh.
Okay.
Shout out to him. Trip Eisenhower.
I don't know if I'm familiar with Tripp. Is he related to Dwight?
I think it's spelled slightly different.
Okay.
But Tripp's pretty well-known golfer,
Okay.
pro golfer. Yeah.
I don't know how I'm missing all of these politicians and golfers. I don't. That's usually my wheelhouse.
All right, this one, yeah, this should do better. I
Okay.
think there's a chance you'll get this one right.
All right.
First name is President Andrew Jackson.
I'm familiar with Andrew Jackson's work.
Does that
yeah.
help?
Yeah.
He practiced.
He was a president. Yes.
He's not actually from there, but he practiced law there for about 20 years. So
Okay.
shout out to him.
We'll
All right,
take that.
How about Bobby Jackson?
Depends on which one. There was a Bobby Jackson that was a Memphis Grizzly for a while.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, shout out to you.
I got one.
Got a couple
Two.
more. EJ Jr.,
I don't think so.
NFL
Is Junior his
linebacker.
last name?
Yes.
Oh,
Just
I'm
stops
not
at
familiar.
Junior. Yeah.
There's no. What if he had a
Nope.
kid? Would it be Junior? Junior?
I don't know. That's very confusing.
Okay.
Let's see here. A couple more.
Okay.
No, you don't know who that is. Bobby Parnell,
No, that's not
the
kin to
pitcher for the
Leroy
Mets.
Parnell.
Okay,
No.
no, different.
Okay.
See if I can finish strong here. Oh, I got one for you. I think you're
Okay.
gonna get this one.
All right. He's trying to find softballs to send. But I need them.
I thought this gentleman was from south of Charlotte, but maybe I'm wrong. Uh, According to Wikipedia, there's a gentleman born in 2000.
Uh huh.
His name is Zion Williamson.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar
Familiar
with
with his work?
Zion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's had a lot going on over the last couple of years. Yeah.
And then just to throw one more in,
A lot of.
Stunner for Vegas. I don't know. Does that help?
Oh no.
He's a
No.
rapper, signed to $1 Billion Baby Entertainment.
Okay.
But folks, that's
Got it.
Salisbury, North Carolina. I appreciate you taking time to learn a little bit with me.
Heck, even I learned a little bit.
Grayson,
Yeah.
do you have anybody that I missed?
No, you named more than I knew.
Okay.
Honestly, after Food Line and Chair Line, you about lost me there.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for playing along with us. Somehow shocking, we've gotten to the last couple minutes, and we're going to get into rapid fire, and then we have. I don't think I've ever been more confident that we will have a correct answer to this final question of the evening.
Right.
Uh-oh.
No, that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and fire some questions at you, and then these are just easy, quick, little off the top of your head. Grayson, do you use Spotify?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What would be on your Spotify Wrapped this year? What would be at the top of your list?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't use it enough to even know what that is.
Okay.
I've got it. I use Amazon Music part of the time, but
Okay.
I use Spotify too a little bit. But what?
Basically, who will be your top listened to artist as of right now in 2025?
Oh, I think Amazon's got that. I can probably tell you on that too. But it's probably Waylon.
Waylon. Okay.
It's probably Waylon.
Safe answer.
Yeah, it's probably Waylon.
What is, have you ever purchased an album, whether it be an actual LP or CD or an album prior to Spotify where you purchased it more than once?
No, I haven't. But
Okay.
I
Well,
got-
there's the threshold.
if I got it in my desk, if I could find it, I think you'd probably think it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Let me dig it out.
Yeah.
If I can find it, you'll probably think it's pretty cool. Here we go. So I got the Bocephus box there
Oh, there it is.
sitting,
That is pretty cool.
and somewhere else. Oh, yep, here it is. The Johnny Horton best.
Yeah. Johnny Horton. Oh, greatest
I
story
got-
ever.
I got that. That came from my grandma, but yeah, I got.
Very
the-
nice.
I don't think I've ever actually bought a vinyl or a CD or anything.
That's fair. Understandable.
I do remember. I did used to have a. I do remember the days of iPods and where you actually had to take iTunes and buy a song at a time. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. That feels like an eternity ago.
It does. It does.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, that was a big deal to be able to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
All right.
I had one of the first gen iPods with the screen, and then it crashed like after a few years. Like it
Like
was one of the most
5,000
depressing.
songs on
Yeah,
there.
just gone.
Yeah.
Look more like a BlackBerry than an iPhone.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I had one too.
All right. You self-proclaimed as a history and culture buff. You get to have dinner with one person. They can either be with us or not with us. Who are you breaking bread with?
Honestly, That's tough. If I had either John Wayne, Waylon Jennings, or Burt Reynolds, because I'm a big Smokey and the Bandit fan. That was the first movie I ever remember. That's the first live action movie I remember watching as a kid.
That's like the triumvirate right there.
Yeah,
He's
I'll
definitely
never.
going to be able to answer the last question.
I think so. I think there's a high probability.
My parents were like, "You can't repeat none of the bad words, but you watch this movie."
Nice.
And sure as
I've been
well,
there
that
before
was-
too.
Oh yeah.
Nice. All
Hey,
right, good answer.
I got a rapid fire question.
Oh, yep. Fire away.
I just thought about it. It's Waylon songs. If you had to pick one hype song, one put your foot through the door, you know, if you were going up to bat, and you got to pick one Waylon song to get to walk out with, which one is it going to be? Not necessarily your favorite one, but the one that's going to make you rowdy.
Trouble Man.
Okay.
Trouble Man.
Trouble. I was so ugly the doctor slapped my mom when I was born. I don't know what that first line does every time I hear it. It makes me laugh, but it's like it's either that or Never Could Toe to Mark. Either one of those.
That's
two.
the one
Also,
that's the one I had in mind.
I got
Yeah,
Lonesome
that's-
Honorary in Maine, but
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's something about that.
we could
that
we could
kick,
play this
though,
game for a
that-
while.
That little
Oh, yeah.
beat, that little guitar lick, and the kick on the toe to the mark. That like it's not that fancy, but it's I don't know. Anyway,
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Good
continue
answer.
on.
I want to know the first concert you attended.
Charlie Daniels.
Oh, okay. Where was it? Do you remember about when it was?
Oh yeah, it was. It was in Ohio. It was actually around this time. I told you I'm going to Ohio this weekend to deer hunt,
Yep.
and it was I think it was like September 13th or 14th, whenever it was. It was like a week ago. But we were going up there to bait up and get ready for deer season, get corn put out and everything. And about an hour away from the farm we were at, Charlie Daniels was playing live at the county fair. I was 12 or 13. I'd never been to a concert ever, and it was a free concert. And
Even better.
even better. The only thing we had to pay for was the food. And my dad was like, "You want to go see Charlie Daniels?" I was like, "Absolutely." And for anybody that's ever seen Charlie live knows what I'm talking about. He's got one speed. It don't matter. He was 80 years old at the time at this show. It was a couple years before he passed away, and just, I mean, I've never seen anybody play the fiddle that hard.
No, he gets after it.
It was crazy. I was hooked ever since.
Great answer. All right, I just have one more question, maybe two, and then we'll get to the last question. Where's a venue that you like would be a bucket list venue that you'd like to go see a concert that you haven't had the chance yet to?
This is going to be generic, but I've never been to the Opry.
Okay. Oh, nice.
I've never been to the Opry, and I've seen it once. I went to Nashville several years ago, and I saw it like the outside, but I've never.
Right.
Of the Ryman.
Yep, I've had some
Okay.
friends that if I go, I would like to go backstage. I had the Reese brothers on my show, and they're if y'all haven't heard them, y'all need to give them a listen. They're top
sure.
notch. But he was, I think Cole told me, he was like, I'm not going to go to the Opry unless I'm playing there. That's what he told me. And I was like, that's so cool to me. And I was, if I could go backstage, that'd make it even better. But that's the stretch. I would just be happy to go see a show.
Sounds like fun.
You get to go backstage and just make it.
Yeah, that'd be the coolest for sure. We've been lucky enough to have a bunch of folks on the show that have had the opportunity to play and to hear the stories, especially for the first timers. It's pretty, like, it'll get you right in the feel. So
I've heard a couple of them.
Grayson, what if you could we got to pay the bills around here, but if you could pick a sponsor to come on and sponsor your podcast and everything that you've got going on, who is your ideal sponsor?
Coors Light.
Okay, shout out. Well, I got the just not the light part.
Look right here.
There you go. Nice.
Same page. On
Man,
the same
I'm out
page.
of.
We'll play. Sorry, Soul Gravy.
I know. I'm just representing 49 Winchester. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, we like those. We'll
What a
take them as a
loser I
sponsor
am.
too. Yeah.
Hey, Winchester Henry, I think it's sponsoring them too.
That wouldn't be the worst.
Wouldn't be a bad one.
All right. Soul Gravy, you are set up on a tee for the last question of the evening for Grayson.
All right. This started off as a joke on episode 1, and now it is a requirement. We tried to think of the most Dollar General backwoods country question I could think of, and this was one of them. So, Grayson, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack?
Christmas tree cake, baby.
All right.
What?
Came
100%.
out quick.
Speaking of, that was
Oh,
Brett
you ain't
Cobb's
got-
answer.
You ain't got to ask it once on that
He-
one.
He said, remember?
Damn.
Yeah. It was like, Brent Cobb, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack? He said, damn. What's them Christmas tree ones? I like
That's-
Christmas tree cakes.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
The real ones get it. The real ones
That's
get
right.
it with them. They're good.
Well, I want to say, man, I know it's late down your way, but we appreciate you taking time to hang with us. Give us all of your handles if you could on the way out, so we can make sure and send folks to wherever they can find your content.
Yes, sir. And I appreciate y'all so much. This was a blast. It's Grayson Kepley on everything except Instagram. It's Grayson_Kepley. So I had an old account that I couldn't get back into that was that. But
Yeah.
you can check out the Southbound Show on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you can also see the podcast clips on my page, but you can also see it on the Southbound Show on Instagram and on TikTok.
Perfect. All right, folks, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Grayson, thanks so much for hanging with us.
Thank y'all
So
so much.
Gravy, we will see you tomorrow. Wes Barlow from Dano Simpson and Dolly Shine is going to be joining us. Folks, you definitely want to jump in on that tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time. But Grayson, thanks again. Appreciate it, man.
Thank y'all so much. I had a blast.
See you.